Hey,
Hey, hold on a second. Women's Foundation of Minnesota. I don't see nothing about a gala on that thing.
girl, get off the phone. You on my live.
I know. Oh, we live? Oh, girl.
Yes.
Okay, see, you wrong. You supposed to when you come in StreamYard, you supposed to not be live until you supposed to go live. And then that way you give the person a chance to talk to you when it's time to talk to you so they can like get in a place that's nice and cute with their kids and everything. You can say, hey girl, we going live. And then you hit the live button. You don't just jump in and hit the live button.
I told you
Okay,
we was
Travis.
going live at 11. It's
Okay,
10 o'clock your
okay.
time, 11 o'clock my time, which is right now.
Okay, I got to pee and everything. Okay, Travis, I'm gonna call you right back. Be careful. I'll talk to you later.
Girl, turn the
All right.
lights on. It's dark up in there.
Girl, look, it's Minnesota. You forgot it's dark here until June. Okay, I'm light skinned enough. I'm the only thing that's light in
Yeah, you
Minnesota.
right in light. That's true. You right
Girl,
in light.
okay, I am the only thing that's lighting up Minnesota right now. You know we gray skies until from September until mid May. Don't act like you didn't just leave.
Well, that's true. That's true now. No, calm down, sister. You fired up today. You spicy today, huh? What's going on?
I ain't had my medicine. You in trouble.
You ain't had your vodka either, huh? Is it too early?
No, but I've been trying to lose weight because I know I was gonna see you, so I tried to like lose like 8 ounces, and I've really been doing a good job dieting and everything. However, I did not realize that the liquor adds pounds.
Really?
Yeah, yeah,
I
and
think it was.
so somebody told me I've been drinking my calories. They said,
Yeah, that was
"Oh,
probably me.
oh, yeah, it was it you? Okay, I
Probably
was just
years
doing
ago.
somebody. Okay, okay, yeah. Somebody told me I was
Probably like
drinking my
20 years
calories.
ago, though, Sheletta. Probably a long, long time ago. You
Yeah,
probably
probably
forgot.
before even the kids were born. I knew. I said
Yeah.
somebody. Okay, that somebody was you. Okay, that was back before we even had babies. Before I was even married. You was telling me that. Okay, all right. I knew it was somebody. I knew. So hold on, girl. Hold on, girl. Now I know we live, but I have a child that I have to wrangle. Just a second. This is gonna be the
Okay.
bomb. I'll be right back. You got to tell me about autism and what I'm.
Okay. Lordy, lordy, lordy. My first live guest is off wrangling children. I guess that's fitting for my channel, though, since we're all about being super moms here. She got her hand in the picture. Oh my. But yeah, we're all about being super moms and super dads. And today we're going to be talking about how to conquer autism. Hey.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Where's mama? Where's your mama?
Um, she went to go take care of Daniel. I got a new podcast.
You did. Tell me about your new podcast. What's it about?
It's about the Woodbury Lost Bear.
Oh, okay. Have you done it yet? Have you recorded your podcast yet?
Yeah, we did it. We talked it about the Woodbury Lost Bear, and my brother is in it too. Brandon!
Oh, that is so cool. I'll have to listen and check you guys out. I know it's really good.
Hold on. Brandon, my brother, who's also in the podcast, is coming.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let me see Brandon. What's up with him?
He's 8 years old.
Okay. There he is. Did he just swim by?
Yep, he's really fast.
He's going so fast. I can barely see him.
You gotta talk to Miss Lindy.
Hi, Brandon.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good.
Why are you running so fast back and forth? What's going on?
Who episode? This you know called Chicken Squad. There's a guy, little guy, who's lost, who's back, called you got a back.
Okay. Don't you guys have school today? Why are you out? How come you're not in school?
Oh, we don't have school.
You're out of school today?
We don't have school on Friday. It's a weekend, but Mom keeps saying it isn't.
Friday's not the weekend.
Mom.
Miss Lindy, let me talk to her because I know y'all miss her. Give her a blowing kiss.
Wait, is she?
Bye. See ya.
Okay, say bye-bye. Give her a kiss.
Bye.
Okay,
Bye.
my turn.
See you later. Talk to you later.
All right. So
Okay.
I'm glad you got a chance to see the kids because we're talking about autism and being an autism mom, and that is not an easy thing to do.
Before you get into it, though, I do want to get your top 5 tips for parents whose children have been diagnosed with autism. But talk about you first. Who are you? I know you, child, but to people watching, who are you? And how did you get into this world and become an expert and become just a rock star in it?
So my name is Sheletta. I'm Lindy's best friend in Minnesota. And so I have been in broadcasting for 20 years. I realized this is my 21st year in broadcasting. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? 21st year in broadcasting. Where did the time go? So anyway, I was working and hustling and living my best life when my husband and I fell back in love and decided to have 3 more children in addition to the one that we have. And so we started cranking our babies back to back to back. And before we realized that something was wrong with Brandon, I had Cameron. And then she wasn't meeting her developmental milestones, but by that time I was pregnant with Daniel. And so I remember I didn't have just 1, 2, but I had 3 kids diagnosed with autism. I remember the day I came home from the autism center, I literally grabbed a bottle of vodka and crawled under the table because I was trying to figure out why God was punishing me. You know what I mean? This is, I did it right almost. I was 9 months pregnant when I got married. So I was married before I had my kids, right? And all my children had the same daddy. And I'm like, why is the Lord doing this to me? Because I got one cousin, she got 1 baby, and that baby got 3 baby daddies. Why her kids okay, and my babies is something wrong with them, okay?
Right.
And I just couldn't figure it out for the life of me. I started trying to retrace my steps. Did I not take my medicine? Was it the doctor? Was it, and at that point, it was the world in my room and my life was just spinning out of control. And then, somehow between, drinking something, I can't remember what it was brown. I heard the Lord say, this is not a punishment. I'm giving you a position, and your position is mother. Now get up from under the table, take care of your children, and when you're done, go help somebody else. And so I literally just crawled from under the table, started researching and looking up therapy centers. Google became my best friend, calling people to find out what they were doing for their children and, how they found success and, and I shut down. I had to stop working for a couple of years. And I couldn't do anything except try to get my kids right. You know what I mean? Look to people.
Let me interrupt you for a second. What was the first inclination that you had with Brandon?
Yeah, it was Brandon. Yeah, it was Brandon. Brandon was the first one.
How did you even know to take him somewhere or to talk to somebody?
Right, because we didn't. Nobody that we knew had any. You know what I'm saying? Nobody in my family had ever had an autism diagnosis. Your kids all smart and healthy and doing good. Everybody else's kids all smart. Andrew, my oldest child, was all smart and healthy and doing good. So we didn't even know what to look for. Right? We didn't know. And so I remember like it was yesterday, girl. I was bathing Cameron, and Brandon was sticking his head in the toilet. Hey, I'm on the phone. And that's what happened when you have kids. This is like, yeah. He was sticking his head in the toilet. The toilet, right. Well, you're not keeping the toilet clean, so it's okay. It just smell like fluoride. And so he was sticking his head in the toilet. And I remember saying, no, don't do that. And I remember he looked at me as if he didn't know what no meant. And there was just a light.
And he was 2 at the time? He was about 2?
Yeah, he was 2.
Okay.
Yeah, he was 2 at the time. And the light just wasn't coming on in his eyes. And he looked at me as if, what does no mean? And then I noticed that he would play with toys the wrong way. After that, I was just like, the Lord will always give you a little something to help you understand something ain't right. Whether it's something on your job, something with your kids, something in your car, the Lord will always give you something to let you know that something is wrong or something ain't right. And so, I just feel something in my spirit say something ain't right. And I remember that night I got online and I started looking up, and this was before you could access all this stuff on your phone. So I'm sitting with the laptop in my lap, pregnant with Daniel at the time because Cameron was already born. And so I'm Googling stuff, and I remember like it was some online test that I could take. And it was like, "Do your child look at you?" And I was like, "No." And it said, "Does your child have 3 words?" No, you ain't got no 3 words. Did your child do this? Did your child do that? And girl, I finished taking that test, and it was like, go to your doctor, your pediatrician. I mean, this is just some online random test. I can't even tell you what the website was. Girl, and I remember thinking, I'm pregnant. I got a baby that ain't talking to me, ain't looking at me, and I got a daughter that what is going on? What's happening? And girl, I tried to tell my mom and them, and they were like, "Oh, girl, shut up, shit. Ain't nothing wrong with that baby. You just looking for some drama. You love drama. You always looking for something. Ain't no, he gonna talk when he get ready to talk. Leave that child alone." That's the wrong attitude to have, especially in the Black community. And that's something that we need
to. That's a Black community thing, Sheletta, or
yeah,
is
no.
in general?
It's absolutely a Black community thing. Okay. Let me tell you something. White folks is getting their kids diagnosed with autism at 6 months old. You know why? Because that's the way the insurance will pay for the services. You want the speech therapy, you want the ABA therapy, you want the physical therapy, you want the occupational therapy. Well, the insurance got to pay for it. And the only way the insurance is going to pay for that is if you get the diagnosis. Right?
Well, how early is early? How can you get a diagnosis at months old?
You can get a diagnosis at 9 months old. If you go to the doctor and see, Andrew and your kids, we done had this problem. So you're not really familiar with it if you're not familiar with it. And so what happens is, at 9 months old, they ask you, well, is Chase saying 12 words? Well, hell, at 9 months old, Chase was counting money and reading on the 5th grade level. So, you just skipped, you and your doctor, y'all skipped over that question. But when those questions, the answer to those questions start becoming no, it's time to go get checked. Yeah, okay. It's time to go get checked. And see, I never had to worry about them questions with Andrew. Right. Andrew came in the doctor's office like, "Hey, how are you? My name's Andrew. My mom's name's Sheletta. My dad's name is Sean." Well, they ain't even asked me them damn questions. Yeah. But with Brandon, they gotta say, "Okay, so your child is 9 months old. Is he looking at you? Is he picking up a spoon? Can he feed himself? Does he know how to play with toys regularly?" Well, when you start answering those questions and the answer keep being no, you need to go somewhere and get checked. And what happens in the Black community, and this is something that, I've been working with since, I got my children together and was able to help somebody else, is that we have got to stop being in denial, right? My mama wanted me to wait. Well, just wait. Give him some time. Why you worried about it? You ought to have something else to do. You're pregnant and you got a little baby. You just go ahead and let the boy. He gonna talk when he get ready. Leave him alone. And so I was like, well, you know what? Let's let these white folks with these, initials behind their name test him. And if they say ain't nothing wrong, then we good. But if they say it's something wrong, there's something we need to be doing right now. Because early intervention and early detection is the key. And the thing with these white parents is they go get their kids checked early. Then they get early intervention and services. Mm-hmm. And so by the time they get to kindergarten, they read. They done been through the therapy. They not waiting on the school to diagnose them. They not waiting on the school to get them the therapy. They're doing it before they even get to kindergarten. They've had 2 or 3 years of intensive therapy at centers. So when they get to kindergarten, they look like regular kids. They don't look like they have autism. And we sitting here like, what y'all doing? Why are kids behind?
Well, see, you sparked something in me, which is why I even wanted to do this with you, is because you have a deep understanding, Sheletta, because you were able to get your kids tested off the autism spectrum, which I had never heard of that before. Not that I'm an autism expert or anything by any means, but when you said that to me one time, I was like, what? Like, how do you, what? I thought it was
and you know what? The Lord needed for you to see Cameron and Brandon now. I needed to go fish Daniel out of the toilet so that you could talk to Cameron and Brandon.
Yeah.
Cameron and Brandon were very severely autistic. Brandon is who I was talking about at the beginning of our conversation, who didn't understand the word no, who didn't know his own name. Cameron, who was just talking to you, was so shy that if you tried to talk to her, she would cry. They had her in a class with deaf people and was teaching her sign language because she wouldn't say a word. But it was autism and social anxiety. So that's how severely autistic my children were, right? So this is what I did. I looked at these white folks, okay? And I said, what y'all doing with y'all kids that they making so much progress that they are graduating from college? They have master's degrees. They are living their best life and don't nobody know they got autism but you. What y'all doing? You know, I found me a autism mom mentor. And just this
Oh,
week, her son graduated with his master's degree in music.
what? Okay.
And this boy was so severely autistic when he was a child, he was doing this, right? But they was getting that therapy at 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 years old. They weren't in denial. They made sure that he got to his sessions and didn't miss. And I was like, okay, well, what y'all doing? I'm gonna do that too. And so
Mm-hmm.
I didn't wait for the school. I didn't care if my mama and my daddy and any of my cousins or friends or even my husband thought that there was something wrong or thought that I should wait. I jumped on it and we took out running. We got 8 hours of therapy a day in the house. You saw it.
That's a
You
job.
saw it.
That's
That's a
a
job.
job day. That's a work day.
That's why I quit. That's why I quit my job. Because what these people and this is what made the difference. This is what made the difference, and I'm gonna tell you the secret sauce because everybody knows what's in the secret sauce, right? This is what made the difference. Applied behavior therapy, ABA therapy, with
What's
an
that in
or
a nutshell?
applied behavior therapy is a type of therapy for children with autism that helps them change the way that they behave with positive reinforcement. That's basically it. It changes their behavior with positive reinforcement. They take their favorite toy and they say, well, you know what? Stop flapping your hands for 2 minutes and then you get your toy. And so the kid will sit there and stop flapping their hand. And then 2 minutes later, they're given the toy. And then they say, okay, here, you play with your toy, play with your toy, play with your toy. And then they take the toy away. They say, now stop flapping your hands for 3 minutes. And then they time it.
Okay.
And then after 3 minutes, you get the toy. And before long, it's a behavior where they just not flapping their hands anymore.
So it's a repetitive thing
It's a
that somehow
repetitive
gets
thing.
into their wiring of their brain or something
Right,
like that.
right. And it changes their behavior. It's a behavioral therapy. And you know, my kids have gotten all kinds of therapy, but it was that ABA therapy from the Lovas Institute that really changed their lives and mine. And so what happened with my kids is that Cameron, who you talked to,
Mm-hmm.
and Brandon, who you just talked to, who was so severely autistic that people thought Cameron was deaf and Brandon couldn't recognize his own name, have tested off of the autism spectrum. Now, let's explain to people what that means. That means that they have met or exceeded all of the developmental and educational milestones for a child their age. So you can say, basically, because of that, they are no longer on the autism spectrum. Cameron is either reading at or above her grade level. She is doing everything. She's interacting. Brandon, the same way. But it was 2 years of that intense behavior therapy in our home. We did it in our home. You saw it.
I saw the
You
setup.
saw it.
I
You
saw the
saw the setup.
setup.
And these people at the Lovas Institute, Linda, they told me, you give me 2 years and we're going to give you your child back. And they came in here at 8 o'clock every morning and they were here until 5 o'clock. They came on the weekends. My kids did sometimes 40 to 45 hours a week of therapy in the summertime. On
Wow.
vacation, we were still doing therapy. We was doing the Zoom therapy before we knew what a Zoom was. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
we couldn't miss. They don't even let you take a vacation. They're like, look, you can go on vacation 1 week out the year, and when you go, bring your laptop. And I
Wow.
was like, oh, okay. And you know, my mom and them, it don't take all that. That's too much. Them children need a break. They tired, you know, because we never heard of nothing like that. And
Right.
now they at church bragging. Well, you know, my grandbabies, they used to have autism, but they done tested off the spectrum because God is good. They want to give a testimony now about the goodness of the Lord. Well, yeah, it was Jesus, but it was also just a little bit more effort. And
And
so
then
my
for their mama with the
right.
vision to make it
Right.
happen. Let's be
But you
real.
have to understand and know that things can and will get better. And that's the one thing, if I don't tell parents who have kids with autism anything else, is that things can and will get better. I was under that table drinking Lindy for 3 days because I didn't think it was going to get no better. I thought they would always be in Pampers, that my daughter would never get married, that my son would never graduate from college, that he was going to be a greeter at Walmart. Nothing wrong with being a greeter at Walmart, but I had visions for my kids. Just like you and any other parent, you have goals and dreams for your kids. And you don't want them to retire as a greeter at Walmart. You want them to own a store. You want them to be a manager, to be to be doing something, to leave a legacy behind. You know what I'm saying?
To be a productive citizen. To be productive. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I thought all that was dashed. I thought this is it. They're gonna live with me forever. I'm gonna always be wiping their butt. They're gonna always be in Pampers. Girl, I just, you know, I mean, 3 of them. You know, having one child with special needs is one thing, Lindy. Having 3 is absolutely exhausting. If you
Right.
ain't got no faith, if you ain't got no vision, if you ain't got somebody to tell you, girl, let me tell you something. My kids, they were all in Pampers. My kids wasn't talking. My kids didn't know their own name. My kids couldn't be left alone for 1 second. Otherwise, they would be in danger. And
Yeah.
now I got kids who are doing everything that kids their own ages are doing.
They're
And
doing more, Sheletta. They're writing books.
they writing books.
They're hosting podcasts.
They hosting podcasts,
Girl,
baby, and they came to me with that. They came to me with that. They said, "Mama, we want to host our own podcast." And girl had a little list, girl, of the subject topics. Baby, they have podcast meetings about what they gonna discuss. They want me to turn on the TV so they could watch the news, so they could get some subjects for their podcast. These were children who were so severely autistic that they were in a pamper at 4 and 5 years old because they couldn't pee on their own. Do you understand what I'm saying? And now my children are testing off the autism spectrum. It is because we used that ABA therapy and we prayed and we did not ignore the signs and we got early intervention. So by the time my kids got to kindergarten, just like the white folks, they had already had 2 or 3 years of therapy. We did not, because most people who have kids with autism, especially the people who look like us, they say, well, you know what? When they get to school, the school gonna take care of it. The school gonna give them the therapy. The school gonna diagnose them, and the school gonna give them the services. And school therapy is only to help your child maintain the skills that they have. When you do it on your own, you can set the tone. You can set the pace. No, I want them to catch up to their peers. You know, school therapy, you could say, oh, well, you know what? I could tell he's getting some help. He's doing a lot better. No, our motto in this family is we don't want our kids to get help. We want our kids healed. I want you to not know that my kids have autism. I want you to look at them, and when I say they have autism, I don't even want you to be able to tell it.
Right. Well, that's the case.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Give me your top 5 tips for parents whose children have been diagnosed on the autism spectrum.
You asked me this.
5 tips.
You asked me this, and I didn't want to think of nothing because I wanted it to come out naturally, like as if I'm talking to a parent. If I was talking to some parent, which folk walk up to me at Walmart or Hy-Vee or Target all the time because they see me on TV and they know about the books and they say, "Help me." They in tears, girl. Just one woman just grabbed my shirt one day because she got a baby on the spectrum and she don't know what to do. It's like getting the keys to an 18-wheeler full of gas. And then somebody tell you drive it. Well, you got the 18-wheeler, you got the keys, it's gassed up, it might even be running. But if you don't know how to drive that 18-wheeler, you ain't going nowhere. And that's what happens. They give you this diagnosis, Lindy, and they say, your child has autism. Have a great day.
What?
That's what happens. They give you 18 pages. of stuff. This is what your child has. This is what he behind in. This is what he need help with. Here you go. And so you like, and this ain't just in Minnesota. This in Texas. Brandon got diagnosed in Texas. Cameron and Daniel got diagnosed in Minnesota. So this is not just, oh, this happened to me in Texas. This is what they do to parents. And so when people see our kids and they see our story and they see where we've come from, the first thing I tell them, the top 5 tips is number 1, things can and will get better. That's number 1. Number 2, find yourself an ABA therapy center and get your child enrolled. If you can move to a town that has the Lovas Institute, do it. We left Texas and came back to Minnesota so that we could use the Lovas Institute services. So that's number 2.
Wow.
Number 3, stay prayed up. Because, baby, only Jesus is going to get you through this ride. You can strap onto this roller coaster, baby, and it can fall off the wheels. You're going to need Jesus. So if you don't know Jesus, you better find him somewhere in an online church because you're going to need him because prayer is the only thing that's going to get you through. Number 4, trust your instinct. This is your child. This ain't your mama's child. This ain't your daddy's child. This ain't your best friend's child. You don't need their approval or you don't need them to co-sign if you think something is wrong with your child. If you have a sixth sense in your spirit that something is wrong right away, you need to listen to yourself. Listen to yourself. Don't listen to nobody else. And number 5, get the help right now. Get the diagnosis right now. Don't wait. Don't hope, well, maybe he'll grow out of it. Maybe he'll get better. Because what happens with Black folks is we like to wait. And then the child in 3rd grade and a pamper wearing cowboy boots and a helmet. And we want to cuss the teacher out because he done failed 3rd grade 8 times. And now we want to get some help. When we should have been getting help when he was 3 years old, spinning around in a circle and flapping his hands. Stop waiting. Stop hoping it's going to get better. Stop just praying it's going to get better. Because it's going to take Jesus and some grit on your part as a parent to get the child better.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
Great tips. Those are great tips. I particularly like the one about finding Jesus.
Yeah, you
have other stuff too in your life, but yeah,
because he's and you know what, Jesus is gonna guide you. He's gonna help you. And I look back at where I found resources and how people have come into our lives, and some of the things that we've been blessed with, and it was all because God put me on a path. The way I found the Lovas Institute, I was up at 2 a.m. just Googling ABA therapy after I found out about it from another parent. And I didn't even find the Lovas Institute. I found the man who is the head of the Lovas Institute. He had done a curriculum for the University of Minnesota for a class for special education teachers, and his name just happened to be on there. And then I Googled his name and found him. I mean, just the way the Lord just ordered my steps so that my kids could be in a place of healing, so they could be an example for other parents. How I connected with Holly Robinson Pete, and how her son's story helped me. God just always orders our steps, and if we pray, he will always give us the answer and give us the strength. Every day I pray, the Bible says those who trust in the Lord will find new strength. And as a parent, when you have a special needs child, you need a new kind of strength. And so I've always prayed for new strength, because you don't ever know what the day is going to hold for you. And so the only way you get that strength, because you can't rely on yourself, is that strength comes from God.
That's deep, girl. And even with children, even parenting children who aren't on the autism spectrum is challenging.
Yeah, it is.
Period.
Yeah, period.
It's challenging.
Yeah.
You know that from having Andrew. It's always something. Something's always going to be there for you to solve, you to problem shoot, you to work it out. So layer that on top. Girl, my hat is off to you, hon. It really is. Because you are a boss. You are a boss mama, for real.
Well, and
period.
What is the thing? You raise the bar for everybody. And, it is difficult to be around you and not try to do things better. Right. And so, and the one thing that I learned from you in our friendship is that having, women who have a spirit of excellence about everything that they do makes you want to do better. So I can't hang with you and have my gutter butt friends. I have to get rid of my gutter butt friends and
You know what they say, Sheletta? They say how you do something is how you do anything.
I
You
ain't
know,
never heard that one. I like that.
That kind of goes with my whole keep your standards high situation. But if you're going to do something, that should be how you do everything. So yes, having a spirit of excellence, not that you're always going to be excellent, not that I'm saying I'm excellent. I'm going to try to be excellent though. That's the thing.
Yeah,
you go
and that's
try
the
to
thing.
do that.
I didn't before I met you. I didn't try to be excellent on everything. Okay, I pick my excellence battles. Okay, sometimes I want to be excellent today. Sometimes I don't. And then with you, I got to be excellent because And this the thing too is, you gonna call me out, and I appreciate that. And we got to stop as moms being sensitive about everything. We got to start listening to people who looking in on our situation, who love us, who gonna say, girl, do something about your baby hair. Girl, why you walk around in night clothes at 3 o'clock in the afternoon? Girl, have you brushed your teeth this week? Somebody who gonna come in your house and be like, girl, why you know what I'm saying? And know that it's coming from a place of love. And I don't know, I just have thick skin, but I appreciate when you come in and give me correction. Because you see something because when you in it, you don't see all the stuff that's going on around you. But if you walk in and you got a spirit of excellence and you looking around and you saying you're doing a good job of taking care of these kids, you're doing a good job with your autism therapy, but your marriage is raggedy. You're doing a good job on this, but you're not holding your oldest son accountable. You're doing a good job on this, but your husband girlfriend just calling you, handed him the phone. What the hell, Sheletta? To my girl, hold on. He upstairs. He baby, hold on.
I am that friend. I'm gonna tell you the truth, girl. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna let you know what's going on.
And when my father-in-law got down and I was taking care of him, you were like, Sheletta, you can't do everything. You're gonna have a stroke. You need to let somebody else take care of Pops, who's a trained professional, and y'all can go over there and visit him. And girl, that liberated me. Because I was trying to take care of my elderly father-in-law. He has dementia. He got sick. And he just went down with COVID. And I was like, girl, trying to do that, trying to take care of these kids, and we homeschooling. And I was just like,
And your heart, the thing is, your heart has always been in the right place. You are one of the nicest people that I've ever met in terms of just your generosity. You will help anybody. You give somebody the shirt off your back, your last dollar, whatever it is. That's just who you are. But then on the flip side of that, you have to protect yourself, protect your own heart, protect your own mind, take care of yourself so that you can be available to be your best self to your children. And that's the only message. That was the main message I was trying to get across to you. It's great to be a giving, loving person, but at what cost? And then what do you have left at the end of the day?
Girl, because I had nothing. I was crawling in bed. I literally was crawling up the stairs to just get in the bed, girl. And you know how much I love my nightly vodka, girl. I wake up and the glass still full. I'm like, damn, I didn't even get my drink.
Okay, that's a whole nother podcast. That's a whole nother conversation because I feel like you need an intervention.
Girl, you probably right. You probably right, girl. Because the liquor store and the Subway are right next to each other, right? And so I was getting out the car and I was going to the Subway to get Andrew a sub. And girl, the man from the liquor store was fixing my stuff that I like. Girl, I was walking toward the Subway, but they saw the car and they already started boxing my stuff up, girl.
When somebody knows your name and your whole situation and your preferences at the liquor store, Sheletta.
Now it's a strip mall, so they got a back door where the owners can go through. Girl, the liquor store man came through the back door and was in Subway and tapped me on the back while I'm like, yeah, meatball sub, let me have olives, black peppers, toasted, on the regular 6-inch. Girl, all of a sudden I'm like, who tapping me? Who ain't 6 inches behind me? Get away from me. We social this. I look back, it's the liquor store owner. He's like, hey, you coming over? And when you leave here because we got you ready. I said, well, I wasn't planning to, but since you got it ready, I'll be there in a minute. So he went back through the back door, around and back in his place. And when I got there, girl, all my stuff was sitting on the counter. And then they
All
put a
your
little
stuff.
extra
Wait,
piece
hold
of
on. All your stuff. All of
Hey,
it. How much
hey,
stuff are you purchasing?
hey, we talk about autism.
Okay, to the moms and dads out there listening, please don't drink like this. That's not what this is about. We're not talking about drinking your problems away.
No. I'm just messing with you. You know, you better tell these folks I'm a comedian.
I know.
But no, that was just my little fifth or whatever I get.
Okay, we're gonna leave that alone.
Look
And
at
I'm gonna
that.
let you get back to your life because I know you're a busy mom, taking care of the kids, running around, doing your work, your job, your day job,
My
and your
day
night
job.
job,
And my
everything
night
in
job.
between.
But I thank you so much for helping me create autism awareness, and for what you're doing. Because you know it's easy to forget about kids who have special needs and who have autism after April, because April's Autism Awareness Month, and after that,
And it's May. It's kind of like Black History Month. February, Black History Month, but every other month we still Black. So
yeah,
every other month
right.
the kids still are on the diagnosis as autism. So yeah, same type of thing, but we're gonna keep it going. We're gonna keep the awareness built, and I think you have such a valuable message to give to parents because not only have you lived it times 3, you've successfully lived it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You've made it to the point where you can help others. You can give just testimony, which is amazing. So thank you so much for being on Lindy Vincent Living, and hopefully people will subscribe, like this video, and share with other parents who need this information.
Yeah, and I'm so glad that you're doing this. Now, when you gonna come back to our podcast? You didn't tell people we had a podcast. The Two Hot Mamas podcast was on and popping, and then you know the big dog, your husband, you know, was doing amazing things and snatched you up out of town, and the whole family left Minnesota, and there was a void in my heart and in my life and on my podcast. So now it's just laughing with Letta, and I ain't got nobody to laugh with. It was laughing with Letta and Lindy. Now I'm laughing by. It's hard to laugh by yourself.
You gotta laugh and keep from crying sometimes. Right. But, girl, I'm ready to fire up our podcast and get it kicked off. It is May. Whatever. When you ready, I'm ready. How about that?
Okay. So Sunday. What time is Sunday? You available Sunday?
Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, just for you. So we're gonna kick it off. We're gonna get it going because ain't nobody had no podcast like us.
Nobody. Girl, our podcast. Girl,
Period.
when you left Minnesota and I was doing the podcast by myself, girl, even the people that subscribe, girl, they was sending me a note talking about, can Lindy come back? I mean, you all good and everything, but
we like you, but
we like you, but girl, I mean, people miss you so much. They miss your wisdom. They miss your candor. They miss, you know, your spirit. Your spirit is missed in Minnesota.
I definitely miss my Minneapolis peeps. I miss you guys. I miss our fun and laughter. Girl, I had stomach aches laughing with you behind you. Stomach aches. So we're gonna have to get that going. We can do like this technology is working well. So we can keep it going and make sure that we're doing what we need to do. So people out there, stay tuned. Laughing with Letta and Lindy is back.
Hold on, I gotta show you something. Hold on before we go. Hold on. Because I ain't never give up hope. I ain't never give up hope. I'm running through the house. I'm running through the Brundidge estates. Hold on. Running through the Brundidge. We got codes.
It looks nice up in here.
Oh, you know I keeps it clean now.
I know you do.
I don't do nothing else, girl. House is immaculate. I'm starting to smell like Clorox. Hold on.
What you got going on?
I never gave up hope. Hold on. I knew you was coming back. Look. We back
Uh-oh.
Hold on. I gotta put the computer down. Hold on. I want you to see this.
Okay. That's looking kind of familiar. What you got?
It was a platform, right? Remember we did blood pressure screenings for men, and we helped police find you know, Black people to, especially women. Yeah. And so I kept this.
There it is. Two hot mamas. Girl, that's a classic. Don't ever let that go.
Well, I ain't gonna let you go, so I cannot wait. I cannot wait. You tell the big dog it's on and popping. Tell him you hanging with your gutter butt friend again. I'm the gutter butt friend in this
Uh-oh.
relationship.
You're gonna be like, what? I'm gonna let him know. It's on and popping again.
All right. Say
All right, girl. Bye.
Cindy.
Bye, sweetie pie. I'll talk to y'all later.
Okay, love you. Hold on, Kim.
Bye.
All right, girl. Love you.
Bye bye.